Going to drop down those temperatures as we get into the weekend, plus possibility of some rain in that forecast too. I know, unfortunately, lots of rain for those past Notre Dame games, but we'll talk more about that in the 10-day forecast as we end weather. Right now, looking at Lake Michigan, we're seeing green flags throughout the entirety of those areas. Fortunate for the day today, if you can get outside, specifically to the beaches, beautiful day for that. Low winds, no wave concerns. Of course, you can see all the green flags there. Also seeing those temperatures right now into the 70s for most of these areas, but likely well into the 80s as we get later into our afternoon hours. So beautiful day, and if you can't during the day, well, perfect day to go watch the sunset because clear skies are going to be around for the entirety of your Monday. So again, perfect forecast for the day and really for much of the work week to have some of those beach days or go watch the sunset. Water temperature a little bit cooler because of that cool spell that we had, right around 68 degrees right now, but that's typical as we are getting later into summer and getting much closer to the beginning of fall. Now we'll look at our next first alerts. We're seeing here a big temperature rise is on the way. That's specifically for the work week. We're going to see it today and continuing to see some increasing in those temperatures as we go throughout the work week as well. Lots of dry days ahead in that forecast, and then 70s coming back around as we get into the weekend. Talking about this omega blocking pattern, we've talked about it a couple times this summer, all when we saw those heat waves that move through Michiana, and that's kind of the setup that we tend to see when we see significant heat. It's got two low pressure systems that are surrounding a high pressure system and allow it to set in place or stick around for at least a couple days, bringing then those typical heat waves that we saw a couple times so far this summer. Continuing to see that omega blocking pattern starting today and then throughout the work week as we're on Tuesday, and you can see that high pressure setup and winds that are coming straight out of the south. That'll allow us to warm up significantly above average from what we would expect to see this time of year. Later into the work week though, Thursday temperatures could be around 90 degrees, but then that high pressure starts to move further and further east, and that will allow that low pressure that's been set up in the western portions of the United States to shift further east towards Michiana, bringing some of that cooler air back into Michiana, as well as some rain chances into that forecast, and that low pressure just continues to move further east as we get through the weekend. A look at your school week forecast here. Lots of sunshine around, a little bit of cloud cover possibly coming around on Thursday. Note those temperatures well above average, 10 to 15 degrees, 90 degrees possible for your Thursday, Friday. Their temperatures do start to drop back down, and those are the rain chances that we have been talking about starting Friday, possibly into Saturday as well. And that, speaking of that 10-day forecast here, again, you're seeing all those warm temperatures we just talked about, but a little bit of a focus here on the weekend when those temperatures drop back down right around average. That's right in time for Saturday Notre Dame home game again, of course, and Miami was rainy, tailgating